Hello guys, buckle up for the mad dash of Retake, Roblox's high-octane class-based adventure cooked up by Wonderworks Studio, where you're picking a class to race through levels, dodge traps, and laugh at the chaos of outsmarting rivals. Picture this. You're zooming as a speedster only to crash into a wall, or sneaking as a spy and getting caught mid-heist. It's a wild mix of skill and silliness. I'm your speedy guide, a vet who zipped past foes with Speedster, fixed traps with Mechanic, and snagged bolts with Retake 2025 codes. Today, we're ranking 10 classes from S-tier legends to C-tier oh-no flops, tossing in hilarious in-game stories and race tips to keep the fun alive. Lace up, players, let's roll! In Retake, classes are your ticket to victory. Unlock them with bolts earned from challenges or speed up with codes like Bolt Boost for 100 bolts. S-tier classes are the clutch kings with game-changing moves, while C-tier's more like a hope I don't lag starter pack. Use speed classes on open tracks, stealth champs in tight spots, or team players for group runs. Play early to learn the map or late to clutch wins. The meta loves S-tier for their versatility, but B-tier and C-tier can shine with the right strategy and a laugh. Each class has a unique vibe. Speedster's got that zoom, paramedics a post-death panic, turning every race into a comedy racing hit. Let's start with the C-tier stragglers and speed to S-tier glory. C-tier in Retake is the clumsy runner's track, a hilarious stretch where classes stumble through levels like they've got two left feet. Perfect for those early runs when you're still figuring out if sprinting into a trap is a strategy or a faceplant. These are the underdogs of the roster, the ones you pick when bolts are low or you're feeling brave enough to laugh at your own chaos. Imagine the medic healing the wrong teammate mid-race, or the bodybuilder flexing while zombies catch up. This tier's all about those epic fails that have you restarting with a grin, so let's dive into the funniest flops of the raceway. Meet Medic, the patch-up prankster, stumbling in with a wobbly bolt vibe. This healer once healed a rival by mistake, turning a tight race into a laugh fest. Picture a 2-limit heal zone where he's more confused than curative, making you chuckle mid-run. Use him early game when you're learning team play. Toss him into a challenge to see if he saves anyone, or team in a 3v3 as a support goof. Upgrade with 200 bolts, but he's more likely to trip over his med kit. Next, Bodybuilder, the muscle-bound mess, flexing with a 200 bolt grunt. This gym rat once posed mid-race, letting everyone pass. Imagine a 2-limit flex zone where he's more show than speed, turning a sprint into a muscle fail. Stick him on your early game for a laugh. Use him during a slow level to test strength, or team in a 3v3 as a tank distraction, level to 250 bolts, but he's a zombie buffet. Finally, Paramedic, the last-ditch lifter, reviving with a 220 bolt flop. This rescuer once revived a teammate into a trap. Picture a 2-limit revive zone where he's a post-death panic, turning a clutch into a comedy. Use him early to mid-game for a desperate save, toss him into a team run for a wild card, or team in a 3v3 for a laughable boost. Upgrade to 300 bolts, but timing's everything. B-tier unleashes the scrappy racers of Retake, a mid-game gang of grit and giggles that turn the raceway into a playground of persistence. Perfect for when you've got some bolts to spend and want to mix speed with laughs. These plucky pickers are the heart of the roster's fighters. Not the flashiest, but packed with spunk. Think of that time Oracle predicted a trap only to fall into it, or when Lurker sneaked past everyone but got stuck. This tier's where you start owning the track with a grin, so let's zoom into this mid-tier crew with a hearty hoot. Meet Oracle, the prophecy-prone puzzler predicting with a 3,000 bolt gleam. This seer once foresaw a trap, then tripped into it. Imagine a 2-limit vision zone where he's more mystic mishap than master, turning a race into a laugh. Use him on hill mid-game for trap hints, toss him into a challenge for a wild guess, or team in a 3v3 for a strategy edge. Upgrade to 3,500 bolts, pair with Lurker for a plus 15% insight kick, and step to A tier. Next, Lurker, the sneaky stumbler, creeping with a 3,200 bolt shuffle. This shadow once sneaked past rivals, then got caught in a bush. Imagine a 2-limit stealth zone where he's more snag than sneak, turning a lead into a giggle. Stick him on your mid-game for a quiet run, use him during a tight spot for a dodge, or team in a 3v3 for a stealth play. Level to 3600 bolts, link with Oracle for a plus 10% speed boost, and rise to A tier. A tier crowns the clever competitors of Retake, mid-game masters who turn the raceway into a stage for sly moves and mischievous wins. Perfect for when you've got the basics down and want to shine. These crafty classes are the roster's witty warriors, blending skill with silliness. Remember when Tank blocked a rival into a wall or Executioner tripped over his own axe? This tier's where you start ruling with a smirk. So let's spotlight these mid-tier mischief makers. Meet Tank, the rolling roadblock, rumbling with a 3400 bolt thud. This brute once blocked a rival into a trap. Imagine a 2-limit block zone where he's more barricade than breeze, turning a race into a laughable jam. Use him on your mid-game for a shield play, toss him into a challenge for a tanky push, or team in a 3v3 for a defense boost. Upgrade to 3700 bolts, pair with Spy for a plus 20% resist kick, and shoot to S tier. Next, Spy, the sneaky saboteur, slinking with a 3500 bolt grin. This trickster once stole a rival's lead, then got lost. Imagine a 2-limit sabotage zone where he's more mischief than master, turning a run into a heist. Stick him on hill mid to late game for a stealth edge, use him during a tight race for a swap, or team in a 3v3 for a troll fest. Level to 3800 bolts, link with Tank for a plus 15% speed laugh, and rise to S tier. Then Executioner, the axe-happy Avenger, swinging with a 3600 bolt chop. This warrior once swung at a rival, missed, and hit a wall. Imagine a 2-limit strike zone where he's more flail than finish, turning a lead into a flop. Use him on your mid-game for a damage play, toss him into a boss fight for a wild hit, or team in a 3v3 for an attack boost. Upgrade to 3900 bolts, pair with Mechanic for a plus 25% power kick, and climb to S tier. Finally, Mechanic, the fix-it fiend, tinkering with a 3700 bolt clank. This gearhead once repaired a trap, then broke it again. Imagine a 2-limit fix zone where he's more chaos than craft, turning a race into a repair riot. Place him on hill mid to late game for a trap tweak, use him during a challenge for a boost, or team in a 3v3 for a support play. Level to 4000 bolts, link with Executioner for a plus 20% repair laugh, and rise to S tier. S tier reigns as the speed legends of Retake, endgame royalty who turn every race into an epic sprint with flair and finesse, perfect for when you've mastered the track and are ready to rule. These classes are the undisputed stars, dominating with moves that clutch wins. Remember when Speedster lapped everyone, or Businessman bought his way to victory? This tier is where you become the legend, turning every run into a blockbuster, so let's roll out the red carpet for these endgame icons. Meet Speedster, the zoom-zapping zinger, dashing with a 4000 bolt blur. This racer once lapped a rival, then crashed into the finish. Imagine a 3-limit speed zone where he's a blur of brilliance, turning a race into a speed show. Use him on open tracks for late-game dashes, toss him into challenges for a quick win, or team in a 3v3 for a lead boost. Upgrade with 500 bolts, pair with Businessman for a plus 30% speed kick, and rule the map. Next, Businessman, the deal-making dynamo, strutting with a 4100 bolt swagger. This tycoon once bought a shortcut, then got lost. Imagine a 2-limit cash zone where he's more mogul than master, turning a run into a business bash. Stick him on hill for late-game strategy, use him during a tight spot for a bribe, or team in a 3v3 for a wealth play. Level to 4400 bolts. Link with Speedster for a plus 25% cash laugh, and dominate. Team up like a racing crew. Pair Speedster with Businessman for a plus 30% speed riot, or Tank with Spy for a plus 20% resist chase that'll block rivals. Use speed classes on open tracks, stealth champs in corners, and team players for group runs. Upgrade with bolts from challenges or codes like Retake 2025. Snag bolts with Bolt Boost. Redeem and chat with code. Trello's your race map for updates. Check it for new classes. Start with Medic or Lurker to learn, then grind for S tier power to rule the raceway. The race ends players. All 10 Retake classes ranked from Medic's flops to Speedster's glory. You're the champ of this racing riot now, whether you're zooming with Speedster or tanking with Tank. S tier owns the late game, while C tier like Paramedic kick off your journey with a laugh. Newbies, try Oracle for early hints. Vets, upgrade Businessman to buy wins. Team Lurker with Executioner for a sneak attack duo, or use Mechanic in trap heavy runs. Redeem codes, peek at Trello, and craft your racing saga. What's your retake tale? Are you speedster speeding to fame or bodybuilder flexing for laughs? Drop your bolt hauls, rival dodges, or epic wins below. Let's share some thrills. If this guides your turbo boost, smash that like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more Roblox fun. The track's calling. Pick your class and race.